All right, everyone, get ready. We're taking a deep dive today into something you already had on your radar: mobile home investing. We're digging into your source material, my ebook 2.9, and we're going to see if this whole mobile home thing is legit.
Good thing you came to the right place, right? This ebook, it's got it all. We're
Yeah.
talking the good, the bad, and the just plain weird when it comes to mobile homes as investments.
So, no beating around the bush, right? This ebook jumps right in, and the first thing that hit me was, legally speaking, a mobile home is more like your car than a house.
You got it. It all boils down to how they're titled. People hear real estate, but if that mobile home isn't stuck to the land, well, you might be signing papers like you're at a car dealership.
No way, really? That's going to change everything? Financing regulations, the whole nine yards?
You're catching on already. But hold your horses. Before we go down that rabbit hole, let's back up. Why would someone even be interested in this kind of investing in the first place?
Yeah, good point. The ebook had me hooked with this whole affordability thing. I mean, they kept saying how much easier it is to get started compared to traditional houses.
Oh, yeah, you said it. We're not talking fancy mansions here. I even saw in here that depending on where you are, you could snag a mobile home for the price of a decent used car.
No, that's what I'm talking about. The same money could get you something that loses value or something that makes you money every month.
It's all about that mindset shift. See, traditional homes, those are like fine wine. They usually go up in value over time. Mobile homes, they're more like cars. They might depreciate, but you can still drive them. Or, in this case, you rent them out.
Now, that's an analogy I can get behind. So we've got affordability, but the ebook really hyped up cash flow as a big win for mobile homes.
And for good reason, especially in the right park. You're talking steady, reliable income coming in. And since it's not your typical house hunt, you might just uncover those hidden gems that other investors are missing.
Almost like those under the radar stocks, right? And speaking of gems, the ebook laid out a bunch of ways to make money in this market. What's cool is there are options for different levels of, I don't know, hands-onness.
Exactly. It's not one size fits all. Take the buy and hold strategy.
Hmm.
If you're someone who likes that steady income without the constant hustle, that might be your jam. But remember, it's not about the property going way up in value. It's that steady cash flow from rent.
Gotcha. So you're playing a different game than hoping the market goes crazy.
You got it. Now, if you're a bit handier, like the idea of a good before and after, the ebook talks about fix and flip. You find that diamond in the rough, shine it up, and sell it for a profit.
Okay, that's where I tap out. My DIY skills begin and end with IKEA furniture. But hey, some people love it. Then there's that next level the ebook mentioned. Talk about owning the park.
Now you're talking. Instead of one unit, you're running the whole show. Of course, with that comes a whole other level of responsibility.
Maybe universe of responsibility is a better way to put it.
You said it. But no matter what, this ebook is all about research, research, research. This is serious business, not picking out throw pillows.
And about that research, the ebook had this saying, location, location, and do due diligence. I laugh because it's so true. With mobile homes, you're investing in the community just as much as the structure itself.
100%. Evaluating those mobile home parks, it's essential. Don't get blinded by just the home itself. There's more to it than that.
It went deep on what to look for, too. We're talking beyond the usual lean-ins, unpaid taxes, that kind of thing. It even said to get the park management's okay before you buy.
Makes sense, though, when you think about it. You're becoming part of their world, and they want to make sure it's a good fit, just like you do.
Totally. And while we're talking about being thorough, inspections. A little chipped paint is the least of your worries, I'm guessing.
You're telling me
Yeah.
you need someone who really knows mobile homes inside and out, checking the structure, the plumbing, the electrical, everything.
Yeah, the ebook really stressed finding an inspector who specializes in mobile homes, not just someone who walks through once and calls it a day.
It's one of those things you don't want to skimp on. A good inspection can save you from a world of headaches and expenses later on.
Speaking of expenses, let's talk about how you actually pay for these mobile home dreams, because it's not as simple as strolling into a bank and getting a regular mortgage, right?
Now you're in for a ride.
Reading this ebook, my mind was blown. Chattel loans, seller financing, even using retirement accounts, it's a whole different ballgame.
And that's what I love about this niche. It really makes you think outside that traditional mortgage box. You gotta get creative. But before we jump into all that, how about we talk about some real-life success stories?
Because everyone loves a good they did it and so can you story, right? This ebook was full of them. People who totally rocked the mobile home world.
For sure. And every story showed a different way to win, which proves there's no single right answer here. One that stuck with me was Sarah. Diversification is her game.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What makes Sarah's strategy so special?
So instead of putting all her eggs in one basket, she's got this super diverse portfolio. We're talking different locations, different types of mobile homes, even different ways of renting them out.
So she's not at the mercy of one market or one type of tenant. Smart.
Exactly. She's got properties in a few states, so one local economy tanking won't sink her whole ship. Plus, she's got single wides, double wides, you name it. Something for everyone.
Like she built this mobile home empire with something for every budget, every lifestyle.
That's it. And get this, she didn't stop there. Sarah's playing with different rental strategies too. Classic long-term leases, but she's also doing lease-to-own options.
Oh, smart. So she's tapping into that dream of home ownership, even for folks who aren't ready or able to get a traditional mortgage.
You got it. And here's the kicker. She's even got a few listed as short-term rentals on Airbnb and those kinds of sites.
Brilliant. Especially if those properties are in touristy areas or places with a lot of seasonal visitors. Talk about boosting that cash flow.
Right. She's thought of everything. Sarah's story is living proof that diversification isn't just a buzzword. It's how you manage risk and make the most of your money in this market.
Love it. It's like that saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
Speaking of baskets, let's talk about Mike. Now, his story really resonated with me, a total entrepreneurial spirit, you know?
Oh, Mike. He's the kind of guy who sees a beat-up old mobile home, and instead of running, he sees dollar signs.
I was going to say, it takes a special kind of vision to see potential in some of those fixer-uppers the ebook described.
And that's where Mike's construction background comes in clutch. He knows exactly how to take those neglected properties and turn them into something amazing.
So it's not just flipping houses, it's like he's rebuilding dreams, right? What were some of the things he zeroed in on during those renovations?
Kitchens and bathrooms. He's all about focusing on the stuff that matters most to buyers. Even small, budget-friendly upgrades in those rooms make a world of difference.
It's amazing what some new countertops or cabinets can do, right?
Tell me about it. And Mike, he never underestimated curb appeal. Always freshening up the exterior with a little paint, maybe some landscaping. First impressions are everything.
It's true. It's like putting on a nice outfit, but for a house. But seriously, I was impressed that Mike was ahead of the curve on energy efficiency. Was that even a thing in mobile homes back then?
Not really. But he saw it as a way to add value and appeal to buyers who were starting to care more about their environmental impact.
So smart. Checking all the boxes, renovations, energy efficiency, and of course, marketing.
Oh, for sure. Because a beautifully renovated mobile home isn't going to sell itself. Mike, he invested in professional photos, wrote killer listings that highlighted all the best parts.
Showcasing those details that make a property shine, right? I bet his construction background made people trust his listings more, too.
Absolutely. People want to know you know what you're doing. Mike's success. It's simple, renovation skills, marketing smarts, and a genuine passion for taking those overlooked properties and making them shine.
Winning formula. Okay, let's switch gears to Lisa. Her story is all about passive income, which, let's be honest, has a nice ring to it.
Tell me about it. Lisa's all about those mobile home REITs. Remember we talked about those earlier?
Yeah, we did. But just in case someone needs a refresher, break it down for us. What's a REIT and how does it work in the mobile home world?
Okay, so a REIT, or real estate investment trust, it's basically a company that owns and manages properties that generate income. When you invest in a REIT, you're buying shares of that company.
Gotcha. So instead of owning the actual property, you own a tiny piece of a whole bunch of property.
Exactly. And in Lisa's case, she's all about those mobile home REITs. So she's got skin in the game, but on a much bigger scale.
And the cool part is that REITs, they pay dividends to their shareholders. So Lisa might not be collecting rent checks every month, but she's still getting a cut of the profits from those mobile home communities.
Passive income at its finest. Just what Lisa was looking for.
And Lisa's story really highlighted how to win with REITs. Like with any investment, you got to do your research, right?
100%. Lisa did her homework. She looked at all sorts of mobile home REITs, compared how they were doing, what their fees were, made sure their strategies matched her own goals.
Like picking the right stocks or mutual funds, you got to know what you're getting into.
And just like Sarah diversified with her properties, Lisa did the same with her REITs.
Not putting all her eggs in one basket. I like it.
Exactly. She spread her investments across mobile home REITs that focused on different parts of the country, so she's even more protected.
A safety net on top of a safety net. What I really love about Lisa's story was how comfortable she was with the hands-off nature of REITs.
That's the whole point. She trusted the people running the REITs and just enjoyed those regular dividend payouts.
Sounds pretty dreamy, right? Getting those rewards without all the day-to-day work. Okay, so we've got these awesome case studies. Sarah, the queen of diversification, Mike, the renovation rock star, and Lisa, the REIT enthusiast. What's the main takeaway for our listeners?
It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. The perfect strategy, it depends on you. What you want, what you're comfortable with, even your personality. Are you someone who likes to be in control, loves a challenge? Maybe Mike's your guy.
But if you're more cautious and value that hands-off approach, Lisa's REIT strategy might be more your speed.
Exactly. And hey, maybe you're thinking of a hybrid approach, taking inspiration from all three.
Right. That's what's so great about learning all these different ways to do it. It sparks ideas, helps you see the possibilities. But before we get too excited, let's come back to something we talked about earlier, never stop learning. This isn't a set it and forget it kind of investment.
Nope, the mobile home market, it's always changing.
Yeah.
Got to keep up if you want to stay ahead.
So how do our listeners stay in the loop? How do they stay current on the latest trends and best practices?
Thankfully, there's no shortage of information out there. We're talking blogs, podcasts, forums, even social media groups dedicated to this stuff.
It's like a whole community of mobile home enthusiasts right at your fingertips.
And don't forget about networking, going to industry events, connecting with other investors, even finding a mentor. All that can give you invaluable insights and support.
Speaking of invaluable, big shout out to the authors of my ebook 2.9. They put together an amazing resource.
You can tell they're passionate about this.
Yeah.
They don't sugarcoat the challenges, but they present the opportunities in such a positive light.
Exactly. It's that perfect balance of keep it real and you got this. Okay, I want to pick your brain about something. This ebook, it mainly focused on individual mobile homes or owning the whole park, right?
Right. Those are the most common ways to get into it.
But remember that thought we ended with last time. What about investing in the land itself?
Oh, yeah. Now we're thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Instead of being a mobile home landlord, you're the landlord.
Exactly. You provide the land, and mobile homeowners pay you rent for their little slice of it.
Of course, you've still got responsibilities as a landowner. Taking care of the property, making sure the utilities are working, maybe even offering some amenities.
Sure, it's not completely passive, but it could be less hands-on than dealing with individual units or a whole park. And think about it, you wouldn't have to worry about those mobile homes losing value because you don't own them.
Huge advantage right there.
Yeah.
You're investing in something that usually goes up in value over time, the land.
And you've got more control. You make the rules, build a community, maybe even focus on a specific type of resident.
Now you're getting me excited. I'm picturing this amazing, sustainable, community-focused mobile home park with gardens, solar panels, maybe even one of those little free libraries.
Okay, now we're just dreaming big. But that's what's so fun about these deep dives. They get you thinking in new ways.
It's true. Knowledge is power, as they say. We've covered a lot today, but hopefully our listeners are feeling inspired and ready to dive into the world of mobile home investing.
All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We've been through a lot with this whole mobile home investing thing, huh? Feels like we've covered a ton of ground.
We have those financing options, those wild success stories. We really dug deep this time.
We even went a little rogue with that whole own the land idea, right?
Yeah.
But before we send our listeners off on their own mobile home adventures, how about a quick recap? Got to make sure they've got the key takeaways, right?
Absolutely. Let's hit those main points one more time.
Okay, takeaway number one, and this might seem obvious, but it's worth repeating. Mobile home investing, it's not some get-rich-quick scheme. It takes real work, just like any solid investment. What do you think?
Couldn't have said it better myself. You got to go in with your eyes wide open, understand the risks, and make smart decisions based on research and planning, not just a whim.
Which brings us to takeaway number two. Due diligence. It's not optional. That's true for anything you invest in, but especially with mobile homes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Knowing your stuff is so important. And I'm not just talking about the market. Understand the financials, get those inspections done by someone who knows what they're doing, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Seriously, no question is dumb when it comes to protecting your hard-earned money.
I love that. Better safe than sorry, right? Okay, on that note, we got to talk about the legal side of things. All those rules and regulations, they're everywhere.
Yeah, not the most exciting part, I know, but knowing the ins and outs of the law is crucial in this game. We're talking titles, ownership, landlord-tenant rights. Get those wrong, and you're in for a world of hurt.
It's true. One misstep there, and it'll cost you big time, both in time and money. Okay, enough with the serious stuff. Let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, profits.
Now you're speaking my language. The good news is this market, it's got so many different ways to make money. It's all about finding the right fit for you.
And our case studies prove that, right? We had Sarah, the diversification queen, Mike, the renovation whiz, and Lisa, who's all about those passive income streams with REITs.
Exactly. Long-term rentals, flipping, passive income. There's something for every kind of investor in the mobile home world.
But here's the thing, and this is key. There's no one right way to do it. What works for one person might not work for another.
You said it, the best strategy. It all depends on your situation, your goals, how much risk you're comfortable with, even your personality.
Hmm.
Are you a go-getter who loves to dive in head first? Or are you more laid back, prefer things a little more hands-off? Knowing yourself is just as important as knowing the market.
Love it. And that brings us to our final takeaway, and it might be the most important one. This isn't a one-and-done kind of deal. The mobile home market is always changing, so you gotta be ready to adapt.
Couldn't agree more. Stay curious, stay up to date, and never stop learning. There are so many ways to do it these days. Blogs, podcasts, forums, even social media groups. Find what works for you and dive in.
So, to all our listeners out there, we hope you're feeling inspired and ready to take on the world of mobile home investing. It might seem a little daunting, but with the right information and a little bit hustle, it can be a great way to build wealth and achieve those financial goals. And hey, we're always here to help you navigate the ins and outs of this crazy market. Until next time, happy investing.